Now we're back on the Pioneer Sideline due to the West region. We're joined by Phil Papour, Mike Turk, and everyone's favorite, Sarah Macklin, who's ready to throw an uppercut at these boys. We're going to start off with Oregon versus Holy Cross or Southern. Is anyone not believing in the quack attack?
No.
Or it's Oregon. I don't give the other two even a chance.
I think it'll be a close 20, 25-point win for Oregon.
Definitely.
No, I'll go under on that. I'll go 14
Okay. I like those odds.
after the first half.
Oh, okay.
All right, now we're going to go into a game that kind of matters. We're going to go with 8 for St. Joe's versus 9 Cincinnati. Are we gonna ride out with one of these teams and try to get them going far?
You know what, Kyle? This is a penny flip kind of pick I'd like to make. Just flip a penny a few times, see what the odds are. It can go either way, but I got Cincinnati winning this one. I saw on Sports Center today they have a 61% BPI to pull up the upset here as a 9 seed. They got a good defense. St. Joe's does have a lot of weapons, but I'm going with the defense on this one with Cincinnati.
See, I'm going just the opposite. I'm going with St. Joe's. I mean, they're a very solid and versatile team. I mean, one name you got to throw out there is going to be an NBA prospect in DeAndre Bembry. He's averaging 17 points a game, and I just think they don't with turnovers. One of the nation's least turnover-prone teams, and I think that's what's going to carry them over Cincinnati.
Well, Mike, the first thing I want to say is let's use the term upset loosely in an 8-9 matchup, but regardless. I'm going to go with the St. Joe's as well. They didn't really have a great schedule. They didn't play a lot of tough teams, but they were able to beat Buffalo's, Temple's, Dayton's. And like you said, DeAndre Bembry, the 17 points per game, 8 rebounds, nearly 5 assists. He's an all-around player, and overall they're a good rebounding team. So I'm going to go with St. Joe.
You're really not believing in Cincinnati Bearcats, who have 4 guys scored in double figures, but it's okay. This is early, and you guys are already better than the last group who went chalk a lot, but unless you're Paul. But it's all right. You know, Paul knows what he's talking about. I believe in him. All right, next we're going to go to the 5-12. The angry Baylor Bears versus the Yale Bulldogs. Are we riding for the Ivy League, or are we believing in the Sick'em Bears? Phil, I know you feel a special type of way about Baylor.
You know what? I have gone with Baylor in the past, and they have made me regret it every single time, and that is why this time I am going to go with the upset. I'm going with Yale. The reason I say that is because Baylor gives up about 37% three-point percentage every game, and Yale, they have good three-point shooters. Nick Victory's 47% from 3. I think if they can get hot from the three-point line, they can pull the upset on Baylor.
This one was a toss-up for me. I wanted to go with the upset in Yale because, like Phil brought up, they have good shooters, but I'm going with Baylor in this one. They're one of the nation's best at creating second chances and rebounding, and I just think that's going to carry them over Yale.
All right, Mike.
I really thought I was going to be the odd man out on this one. I'm also going with Yale. I'm going with the Ivy League school. To pull up the upset on this one, Makai Mason, very good young guard. I think he can take control of this game for Yale. Yale hasn't been here since 1962. They are hungry. They're going to come out. No regrets on the court for this Yale team.
I actually believe with you guys. The only reason I don't believe in Baylor is Baylor doesn't shoot well. They have a lot of guys who are just like, they have a lot of raw athletes, and Rico Gathers isn't having as strong as a year. Oh, yeah. And Yale averages more rebounds than Baylor does, and they only allow 63 points a game. So I got to go with the defense and the team that shoots better, because it says someone you can muscle out a big boy team. Now we're going to go to Duke versus UNC Wilmington. Are we going with the Blue Devils and Grayson Allen, or are we going with the upset?
Blue Devils.
Yeah, I got to let the Duke girl take that one.
I mean, everyone's questioning Duke, but they're not going to lose in the first round. I don't see them being a strong enough team.
I heard that a couple years ago, too.
That's true. I think UNC Wilmington's going to come out with a lot of passion and aggression, especially being that team that, loses recruits to Duke and loses recruit to North Carolina. This is their chance on the big stage to prove themselves. But with that being said, I think I'm still have to go with the Blue Devils.
No, I'm going with UNC Wilmington. I'm going with my gut on this one. I know she's going to hate me for going with them. It seems like Duke alternates every other year how well they do. 2012, lose to number 15 Lehigh in the first round. 2013, they go very far, end up losing to Louisville in the Elite 8 or Final 4 or something. 2014, lose to Mercer, number 14 Mercer in the first round. Last year, national champions. Kind of got that San Francisco Giant feeling. They're going to have a down year this year. This is one of the weaker Duke teams I've seen in the past year. They got the Tripper and they got Ingram, but hey, anything can happen.
All right, first point. What gut do you have? Like, you're about the
Have you
skinniest
seen
you-
how skinny I am?
Exactly, so no gut.
Oh, yeah.
Really,
I can't
really,
say that
Brandon
on
Ingram
TV.
could probably take on all UNC Wilmington starters and probably win. But we'll go over to Blaine and Trevor, who I know have something else to say.
Duke, UNC Wilmington over Duke.
Not this
No,
year.
Mike. What?
Yeah.
What? Why?
He's
Yeah.
vendetta against Duke.
What is he?
from this.
I don't know.
Lost
his
to
logic.
Lehigh. They
Grayson-
lost to
Grayson
Mercer.
Allen-
I
It
know.
can
Will
happen.
win them one game. He'll win them one game, and then he'll probably do something stupid in the next game, and
Yes.
they'll
What,
lose.
lose the Yale?
I can
But-
see them. I can
Yeah,
see them
probably.
losing to Yale,
Yeah.
but not UNC
Oh,
Wilmington.
you're just.
I didn't even
I'm
know they
sorry, Mike.
existed.
I like you, but you're wrong.
Gotta
Yes.
take chances.
I mean, wow. What?
I do like the Yale pick, though.
I do too.
Yale's good.
I'm
good
not
choice.
gonna lie. I did have Baylor beating Yale, but this is that 5-12 matchup where there's going to be an upset. Granted, it didn't happen last year. I do think Yale has the power to do that upset over Baylor this year. And St. Joe's, yes, St. Joe's. I agree with that. Oregon,
Oh, no, that's
yeah,
wrong,
so.
but
no, I
whatever.
think St. Joe's
8-9.
is gonna get past Cincinnati.
Yeah, you
so
can't please
good
everyone.
job picking that one,
Yeah,
guys.
well,
Good
yeah.
job.
Still doing better than the other group.
Yes, love you a lot more.
Well, I guess they had a lot to say about you, Mike, but at least
Yeah.
they gave you a backhanded compliment by saying Cincinnati was a good pick. Now we'll go to Texas versus UNI. Phil knows how we feel about the state of Iowa. Are you believing in the Panthers? Are we Longhorns?
Yeah, the state of Iowa didn't treat us so well last year, but to be honest with you, I can't imagine the state of Iowa is going to do us that badly again. And the fact that last year the Iowa teams were higher ranked, and that's why we put like Iowa State, they were 3 seed, we put our money on them, burned us. But UNI, 11 seed, they've beaten North Carolina, Iowa State, granted it is Iowa State, but they beat Wichita twice. I think if they can get a big game from West Washington, 14 points per game, 5 assists per game, and they have 4 double-digit scorers, I think they actually are going to get the upset over Texas.
I'm going with Texas on this one just because, of the fact Northern Iowa has a good team. But what happened last year, granted, yeah, it's different team, different year. But I'm
It
going with
hurts the same way, though.
Yeah, and I'm going Texas because now they have the experience coaching of Shaka Smart. They have a good defense, and they have a pretty good point guard in Isaiah Taylor. He's averaging 15 points a game, which isn't that
least-
high.
At least somebody thinks he's good.
It's not that high for point guards, but he's controlling the Texas team, so that's why I have them over it.
Mike, you're the tiebreaker, buddy.
Longhorns, I think they want to get that next round matchup against in-state rival, the Aggies.
Why are
coming
you
next
tipping
round.
picks? Why are you cheating the show? We got a
Oh,
long
we're
time to
good.
do this.
We're good. I'm the host now.
Bro.
Oh,
I think you're going to
boy.
get kicked off for that.
All right. Sarah and I are just going to let you
Okay, now
brawl it out
all right,
over
yeah.
here.
Now this is definitely the first pick that I'm turning on you guys. I'm gonna go with Sarah. And all right, this game I feel like is gonna finish with a final score of about 58 to 54. Neither team shoots very good in offense. The only reason I'm picking Texas, and I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, is because Camlin Ridley's coming back, and what he gives them on the bench is what they need. Their bench score is awful. And they do have 2 veteran guards. Now, Isaiah Taylor, I'm glad you're high on him because I think he's terrible. I like Felix. I think he's a good player, good on defense. I'll go with him. But so I'm going to go Texas. Sorry, guys. I just can't. I just can't.
It was tough last year,
Phil,
you're right.
Phil,
It
it's
was
not
tough.
you, actually. It's totally Mike's fault. I'm not even going to lie about it.
I went with Texas.
He went with Texas.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
It's
I
just
feel
me.
bad.
It was,
It's
it was
just me.
still from the
Yeah.
from the Duke
I
game.
even went like
Still
I
this.
feel
that
bad
matchup.
now.
It's all right, Kyle. I mean, they did us dirty last year, so.
No one, I actually had them picked too, but I guess I'm just all thrown off by what Mike said. All right, are we taking A&M or are we going Green Bay?
Texas A&M all the way on that game.
Mike,
I kind of already tipped my pick.
you don't
Aggies.
believe in?
in-
The other day you were riding
road.
with the Phoenixes.
Yeah, but then I came down from I'm going to pick a lot of upsets this year high, and Yeah, you can't go against Texas A&M in this one. Aggies, no problem in this game.
Phil, are we going different here? or-
Green Bay's a fast-paced team. I think they can give Texas A&M some trouble, but I'd have to agree with them. I think Texas A&M is a stronger team.
All right, now we go to everyone's favorite overseeded team, Oregon State versus VCU. Are we going with Shaka Smart's old team or Gary Payton Jr.?
I got VCU in this one over Oregon State. VCU is a great high-pressure turnover defense, and I think that's what's going to take them over in Oregon State. And they have that lethal inside-outside scoring from their senior guard, Melvin Johnson. So I think that's going to bring them over Oregon State. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going with VCU.
Yeah, I got to agree. VCU, we got to go with the Rams on this one. Melvin Johnson does a very good job there for the Rams. Oregon State, as we've all been saying all day, they have been overrated at the 7 seed. I see VCU making a little, not an upset. What am I talking about? VCU's going to win this one.
Yeah, again with the upset. But yeah, I'd have to have VCU too. They have two 40% three-pointers in Corey Bilborey and Jaquan Lewis. And like you said with Melvin Johnson, 17 points per game. And they're a really good team. They're even with rebounding, scoring, assists. I think they're going to bring a great offensive pressure, and they're going to take the game.
I wish you guys could see my notes because under Oregon State I have not very good highlighted. And it's because Gary Payton Jr. is literally the only player they have on the team. This is what they are. They score 72 points a game, but you want to know how many games they give up? 70, which is really bad.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, and they only shoot 44%. Then you got VCU, 77 to 66. I'll go with that team. Oh, yeah, they also have 4 double-digit scores, and aren't that team that I bash for only having one good guy and being overseeded. All right, are we going Oklahoma or Cal? The other Cal. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No. Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
okay.
If you guys tried to pull that one, we'd been having issues.
I'm
All right.
already in the
Now
can here.
we're back at top. Oregon or St. Joe's?
I'm going with Oregon on this one. I originally had them going up against Cincinnati. We all say Oregon is overrated this year. I still think Oregon as a 1 seed has one of the easiest routes possibly to the Final Four. So I got to ride with Oregon against St. Joe's on here.
Okay.
I'm going with Oregon, too. I mean, they have pretty good guard play in Brooks, Cook, and Dorsey in that combination. They're all shooting close to 40%. And then one name forward, Chris Boucher. I mean, his points per game may not be as high as I would like, but he's shooting 66% from finishing inside the arc. And, I mean, I'll take that any day.
Phil, what are you riding with the team?
I'm going to go quack, quack, quack. I'm going to ride with the Ducks, too. I mean, they're on a hot streak. They're the 1 seed. They're on an 8-game winning streak heading into the tournament. I don't see St. Joe's beating them.
I'll always ride with Coach Bombay. All right, Yale or Duke, the battle of the smart kids.
Oh, I already got yelled at last segment for saying my opinion.
You can
guys
say
go
your
first.
opinion. Be
You
loud.
guys go first.
Mike, I want you to look at her and tell her why Yale's going to win.
I'm going to go with Yale on this one.
No, I want you to look at her so
look her
I
right
can
in
see
the
her
eye.
uppercut you.
I'm going with Yale on
Okay.
this pick
Tell me
coming
why.
up right now. I like this Yale team. I originally had them going up and beating Duke in the second round. Then I'm like, oh no, I think UNC Wilmington has better odds. But Yale, this is a tough one. But I think Duke makes that early
Stay
exit again.
convicted, stay
Even if I'm
convicted.
wrong about Duke not getting or not losing that first round game, I still think Duke gets knocked out this second round, even if they play Yale.
I don't. I have Duke winning this game just in the fact not only do I think Duke's a better team than Yale, Yale is inexperienced. Like, this is their first time in the tournament in many, many years. And Duke, they're the defending national champions. They're in the tournament every year.
Oh, I love that we always use that excuse. Let's go to Syracuse. Syracuse is going to win it all then. All right,
Hey,
Phil.
why not? You know, this is a tough one because Yale, I think, is going to ride or die with a 3-point game, and I think Duke will overpower them. I don't know if Duke's going to go very far in this tournament. Using the national championship argument, I don't think is really going to work this year. They don't have the same team.
Jaleel Okafor and Justin
Yeah.
Winslow are coming back. I heard. I
Yeah.
got a tweet about
Oh,
it.
then yeah, they're in.
I
I think
know.
they're good for the second round. I think they'll stop Yale, but I think it will be a close game.
Phil, you're bringing me to my knees, so I'm going to shift it over to Blaine, who's going to take the support and going to back one of you two guys up. Blaine and Trevor, who you guys think is going to win this matchup?
I mean, I have Baylor in my bracket beating Duke here.
What?
Oh, you're wrong on that.
Yeah, I'm
very,
completely
very
wrong.
on that.
But Mike, you gained some of my respect back. I actually do think this is where Duke's run comes to an end. Mike, you mentioned the inexperienced teams. It was the Lehighs, the Mercers. I think this is when Yale gets that big upset because we always talk about the Ivy League team making a deep run. A few years ago, it was Harvard. I think Yale, they can live and die by the 3, and I think they'll live while they have the hype. I think they have enough to overpower Duke, and I think that Duke, they are on a down year. Sarah, I think you're just riding with Duke because you're a big fan.
No, when I brought up the fact that they're defending national championships, obviously their recruiting class compared to last year is not even comparable. Brandon Ingram is the only guy I really have confidence in. But when I said that, I meant in terms of experience versus Yale, whereas Duke, they have the experience of being in here, of Coach K being in here every year. I mean, granted, I don't think Duke's going to go far. Like, as much as I love them, they're not going to go far, plain and simple. I mean, it's going to be determined whether, like you said, brought up with Yale, how they're good at three-point shooting. So is Duke, but if they're not on, they don't have a chance.
Well, Sarah, since you interrupted our coach over there, Trevor, it's now your turn to talk.
It's all right, Sarah. I'll give you a pass on this one because I actually agree with you. I like Duke in this one. Mike, I will give you credit. I like the Yale pick. I like Emil Jefferson. 11 and 10 averaging right now, and I think he could be a big factor. I think size helps Duke in this one.
Wait, Trevor.
He's out for the
playing.
season.
He's
done for the year.
He's out for the season.
So are you still going to keep your pick?
Yeah, I'm still, because Duke, I think, has a better roster still. They can win a game. Yale can win a game. They can definitely do that. That one of those teams, you're hitting the threes, you're hitting your outside jumpers, that wins a game or two. That doesn't get you a deep run into the tournament. Like I said, Yale's a good team. I think they'll take that first upset. Duke, they'll implode at some point. I have them in the next round imploding, but I think they can win.
All right, now it's back to us. We got Texas versus Texas A&M, the battle of the Lone Star State. Which team are you guys riding for?
Well, the Aggies won 84-73 earlier this season. Daniel House had a huge game in that one. I expect him to have another big game down low for the Aggies this time around. I got to go with Texas A&M here.
That's what I have. I just think they have more experience over Texas. They're the SEC's best per possession defense, and I think they're going to beat Texas on this one. They're going to take it.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Texas A&M too, even though my opinion wouldn't have mattered on this one, but regardless. They come in, they rode an 8-game winning streak before the loss to Kentucky in the SEC Finals. So I think they're going to ride the momentum despite the Kentucky loss. They beat Kentucky earlier in the season. They beat Baylor, and like he said, they already beat Texas, and they're going to go 2 for 2.
VCU or Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
Oh, Phil has that look on his face. He's thinking about this right now.
This is going to be a tough one. Because I really do like Buddy Hield with Oklahoma. You know what? I am going to go with VCU. I'm going to have them get in there. They're going to get through Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. I have Oklahoma. I just think they have too much veterans experience playing together, and I think they're just an overall better team.
Right. I go with the Sooners, average 80 points per game. I don't think VCU can put up 80 points to beat this Oklahoma team. I
don't think Oklahoma can either. I don't think Oklahoma's very good.
Yeah.
I think they're going to ride on Buddy Hield, and I think if he has an off game and VCU is able to play their good team offense and defense, I think VCU
Look
can
at the
steal.
Big 12 championship game.
Oklahoma still got to go with
really bad. Oklahoma, now they did almost come back, but hey, when another team plays bad in the second half, anything can happen. Phil, I actually really like your pick. But they said we have to go with Oklahoma, so we'll go with the young kids trying to gang up on the veteran. It's okay. Oregon or Duke?
Pick my poison, my goodness. I'm gonna go with Oregon on this one. Maybe a little bit biased on this one, but
quack, quack?
Yeah, quack. I mean, I don't have much information going against this because I have Duke going out in the first round. So the matchup between each other, Grayson Allen, he'll be hot or cold. I don't know. Ingram's going to be a 1 or 2 overall NBA draft pick most likely this year. He is a great player. You can't deny that. But I'm going to go with Oregon on this one.
Yeah, that's what I have as much as I'm a Duke fan. I think Oregon just has more consistency. Like Duke players like Grayson Allen and their freshman Luke Kennard, it's up and down whether that type of game they're going to have. And I just think, too, like I brought up earlier with Chris Boucher, they have a better underneath game, whereas Duke, all they really have is Plumlee, and that's really not saying much. So I think Oregon's going to win this game.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith in this Oregon team. I think they do deserve the 1 seed. So, yeah, I'm going to side with you two and go with Oregon.
Well, we're going to go over to Coach Blaine, who has something to say.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to a few picks before. Phil, I can see where you're coming from with the VCU pick and struggling with VCU and Oklahoma. I do think though that Texas beats A&M. I think Shaka Smart has his team in the right position where they can make a deep run, a la VCU. And we can see a rivalry game between Texas and VCU. So I think that we could see a Texas-VCU matchup for the Sweet 16 and then for the Elite Eight. But I mean, Oregon over Duke, I can see that happening.
See, I don't believe in Texas that much. They had some good Big 12 games, but I like A&M's defense enough to think that they can push through. And sorry, Phil, I like VCU, but I believe in Buddy. I think Buddy, he'll carry them for at least 2 games.
I believe in his teeth.
But I think he can carry them at least a couple games. They're not that deep enough of a team to get them past the Elite Eight or to the Final Four. But Oklahoma will win a couple games in this region.
I did have Oklahoma winning too as well, but I definitely could see the VCU matchup. But A&M Oklahoma, that's going to be an interesting matchup, an SEC. Rivalry, a Big 12,
Old Big 12 rivalry.
Well, who would you guys have in that game? We'll start over with you two.
I have A&M. Like I said, I think Buddy Hield can win a few games for him, but at some point that defense is going to shut him down, and I think it's A&M's defense. I think it will be them and Oregon in the Elite Eight.
I actually have Oklahoma winning. I think Buddy Hield can get one more, can actually push his team and take them to the Final Four.
Now we'll come over to you guys. Who do you guys have?
I jumped off the Oklahoma train last round, so I would have to go with A&M. I think they would be the better team in that matchup. It's just too much relying on Buddy Hield.
See, I'm going with Oklahoma on this one as much as I know Kyle disagrees with me, saying Oklahoma's not that good. I mean, I don't think Texas A&M, even though they have a great defense, is going to know how to stop Buddy Hield. And
just let him shoot. They don't need anybody else on the team to shoot.
It's not just Buddy Hield, though. You have great shooters in Woodard and Cousins.
When they hit, they're really good shooters.
Okay, I'm
then you
saying
have Ryan
that they're going to
Spangler,
be on
who's the
it.
softest big man in the whole Big 12.
I don't know about that
Oh,
one.
he is soft. He got bullied by 90-year-old
But
Perry Ellis.
They have experience playing together. Those between Spangler, Woodard, Cousins, and Buddy Hield. Last Friday was their 100th game playing together. I think they're going to overtake Texas A&M.
Mike, bring some sanity to this place.
Well, I gotta go with Sarah, even though I've been against her this entire time. I'm riding with Oklahoma and the Sooners. It reminds me a lot of that 08-09 Blake Griffin team. I don't think they are as good as Blake Griffin's team, but they're still good. I think they're gonna tune out all the noise of people talking trash on them. And I think that the Sooners will play a full 40 minutes in that game. That's how they got to come out victorious. They got to play the full 40 minutes.
Well, Mr. Who's going to win Oregon versus Oklahoma?
Oklahoma. I got Oklahoma winning. Like I said, believer in Buddy Hield again. One of the best players in the nation. I stand by my pick. Buddy Hield and Oklahoma will be in the Final Four.
This one's a toss-up for me. I have Oklahoma in my bracket.
Oh, I'd pick Oklahoma over Oregon any day. I
just think comparing the two teams, I think Oklahoma has more talent than Oregon, and I just think they're gonna. I mean, if Oklahoma had someone else to play other than Oregon, because I know other people felt differently, but I don't think they deserve the 1 seed. I think if they had someone else to play, they would probably go down, but I think they got Oregon in this game.
I don't know what's up with the freshman class this year, Kyle. I personally am going to go with Oregon.
Sell me on the Ducks.
They have 4 double-digit scorers, and they have a really balanced attack. They have Dylan Brooks, 17 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He dishes. He gets his own rebounds. Elgin Cook, 15 points per game, 5 rebounds. I mean, every player they have in their starting 5 can shoot. They can rebound. They can pass the ball. They have Tyler Dorsey, 43% from 3. If he gets hot in that game, I don't see Oklahoma getting all the way to the Final Four.
Phil, if I had a gavel, I'd hit it and say, I support you, but I don't have a gavel, so I'm going to support the young kids as much as I don't want to, making these young whippersnappers. But, well, I guess we're riding with Oklahoma. But after this, we're going to bring the first crew in with one swap out for the East region.